Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Quant Network, aka QNT, so let's just dive in and let's talk about a few things. So, first off, I just want to start with this tweet real quick that I just recently tweeted out, and I said QNT deserves to have a $1 trillion market cap. Now, I know that in this market, the trillion, word gets thrown out around quite a bit, and it is a loose term at this point now, since we have hit $3 trillion in our total market cap, and everyone is looking out for the future of crypto, saying by the next major bull run we could have $10 trillion in market cap value, $20 trillion in market cap value. It is a substantial amount, and I would expect that we do hit some nice high figures within this. And if we are talking about QNT, I do believe that QNT is probably one of the only assets out there, next to only a select few, that does deserve to have quite a bit of a market cap behind it. Do I think that Bitcoin deserves a $1 trillion market cap from network effects, from adoption, things like that? Yeah, sure, you could argue that, but utility is the thing that really is going to reign supreme within this market. And I do think that when we really kind of look at utility, QNT is probably one of the main course meals, if you will, around the utility sector. And what do I mean by that? Well, I believe that Quant is going to have a seat at the table, and they are going to have a buffet of, cash flows flooding in and flooding through their massive ecosystem. And let's actually talk about that. So, first off, let's talk about the numbers of holders. So, shout out to Quant Essential on Twitter here. But we do see QNT price action going against the macro Bitcoin trend. If you're selling QNT right now, you need the money, fair enough. If you're taking profit, trying to increase your stack, you must not really know what you hold, and Quant will wreck you in the not too distant future. Hence why I do not trade Quant. But we do see down here the holders on a weekly basis, going all the way back in time to about roughly May. We are seeing some nice amounts of numbers coming in. I mean, from 1,062, we did see a negative 1,137 there at one point in time. But the numbers since then have been pretty substantial, with numbers already hitting the 2,000 mark, which you love to see. And on a weekly basis, we have been starting to see a little bit of a slowdown, but this is because this is a new trend at the 600 mark. But we have just recently seen 1,239. You love to see, and I do think that we will see a lot more going forward. We just recently seen some larger YouTubers talking about Quant, which you always love to see. Again, I'm a very small YouTuber, and we have been talking about Quant for over a year now. I would argue that it's been about a year and a few months overall. So, it has been a journey. We have watched Quant go from 30-some dollars up to $400, from $400 all the way back down to about $40. So it's been a journey. It's been something special, and it's been something monumental as well to watch the growth of the ecosystem, to watch things kind of falling into place, and watching the puzzle pieces really kind of come together to form this major picture of where we are headed. And talking more so about the upside potential on Quant, here is the major vision. And the vision behind Quant is not only very impactful, but it is very powerful. I've shared with you guys around what is going to be happening with Quant, and this is just kind of connecting the entire world. I mean, we look at all of the major enterprise blockchains, R3 Corda. We look at some of the major blockchains in general, which a lot come to mind when you really kind of look at this. But we've seen this flow chart many times. By now, I'm sure a lot of you are probably sick and tired of even seeing this diagram, because we've seen it so much. But when we really kind of look at this, right, and we look at the operating system behind Quant, this is not your typical, operating system, that's in your phone, your computer, whatever. No, this is the operating system of the future financial system. What do I mean by that, though? We look at DLTs, okay? Shout out to Just a Tech Guy on Twitter for this, but we do see QNT partner KPMG and IMF confirm permission DLT is the future. Guess who is the leading interoperability solution there? Not saying DeFi has no future, it certainly has. And we're going to be addressing this a little bit more in depth. But we do see use of DLT in. DLT comes in two forms, permissionless or permission based on the level of decentralization. Our previous update described how for mainstream institutions the future likely lies in the latter. In the case of FMI, players specifically research by the IMF confirms that only permission networks are suitable. And over here we do see, a pure example. Quant's MLT technology is leveraged by the International Monetary Fund, IMF, for use with CBDCs that are sent to and from and operate on many distinct blockchain and also legacy-based platforms. Multi-ledger tokens have the potential to be utilized for numerous blockchain and financial uses, which will continue to expand as the utility of the technology grows and new business models emerge. And you'll love to see them, confirming that Quant's MLT technology is being leveraged by the IMF. And it really kind of solidifies where, Quant is positioned. If there was a token that I would personally choose to hodl until Bitcoin levels, it would be QNT. Again, this is also why I say, if you do care about short-term price action, hey, wait for the lows to be put in. But if you don't care about short-term price action and you are just trying to accumulate Bitcoin at around $100, QNT is your best friend. And a lot of people will call me crazy. I've actually seen a lot of people actually call me crazy saying, there's no way QNT is going to be the next Bitcoin. It's on the Ethereum network, even though it is blockchain agnostic. It could choose whatever blockchain it wants. I just look at the power and the potential behind DLT, specifically within the financial sector. And it has such a massive opportunity within that sector specifically, but also even around DLT, right? We have been watching DLT unfold at a rapid pace around the financial sector, even with major names like SWIFT, the BIS. We talked about the IMF. We've talked about even the Federal Reserve. I think people need to open their eyes right now to see what is happening. But it's okay. If you are blind, let me show you the way. When we go and look at SWIFT, we actually see a DLT breakdown, understanding the potential to transform the financial industry. Remember those words, transform and the financial industry. Progressing technology through industry initiatives. DLT is, developing at a pace. Speculation surrounding the technology is rapidly being replaced by concrete research and development outputs in the form of proofs of concept simulations, and prototypes. At Swift, we have been extensively analyzing and testing the potential application of blockchain technology in the financial industry. Over the past few years, we have witnessed a number of advancements with the technology addressing many of the critical requirements necessary for the DLT to potentially achieve industry-wide adoption. And yes, I do believe that we will see industry-wide adoption of DLT. There's a few things down here to really kind of look at. They also do, share this latest insights on DLT. We actually do see Swift to bring benefits of GPI to DLT and trade ecosystems, even, nostril accounts as well. So much more within this. There's a ton of information on this from Swift, as they have been really kind of focused on DLT, specifically with even Hyperledger. We already know Hyperledger is working closely with Quant for interoperability needs. But over here, we do see Swift and a center outline path to DLT adoption within financial services. Look at how far back this goes. 2016, a 4-minute read. They really kind of share with you guys the insight on this. And let me kind of zoom in real quick. So this is a new paper. Now, it is an old paper, but it is talking about DLTs and the DLT usage across financial institutions, highlighting the opportunities as well as the challenges for an industry-wide adoption. Accenture is a giant within the space. Swift is also a major giant, holding up 25% of the major banks worldwide. And there's a few things to really kind of look into. They are talking about the major benefits behind it. So here is the major critical factors that need to be addressed for industry-wide adoption of DLTs: strong governance, data controls, compliance with the regulatory requirements, standardization, identity framework, security and cyber defense, reliability, and even scalability. The funny thing is that they actually don't even mention interoperability here, but since then we have seen interoperability become a big thing. And they do go on to mention a few things around this, but it really kind of just confirms how long they have been discussing DLT and DLT adoption itself. I would say by now, Swift is ready. You really kind of look at what Swift has been doing. And if you do look at some of the recent things, like even this Swift GPI and DLT from 2019, I know that this is a little bit older of an article, but they do talk about like R3 Corda, for an example, and how big of a use case that actually is for like cross-border payments and even trade transactions. We've been talking about trade finance being fully disrupted from Zinfin. DLT itself has been bleeding into major areas around the world, specifically within, the financial sector, even within trade finance. And I do believe that that is a case where we could see, a full-on disruption of that market, as it is ripe for disruption from this technology. Also, don't forget that even the World Bank, right? This is from the worldbank.org, distributed ledger technology and blockchain. The financial sector is currently undergoing a major transformation. They are even confirming it here, brought about by rapid development and spread of new technologies. The confluence of finance and technology is often referred to as fintech, typically describing companies and innovations that employ new technologies to improve or innovate financial services. And down here, we do see this note on DLT and blockchains is, part of the series of short notes that explore new trends and developments in fintech and analyze their potential relevance for WBG activities. Forthcoming notes in the series will cover marketplace lending, insurtech, and other topics. This note outlines the mechanisms, origins, and the key characteristics of DLT, the difference between public and private DLT, the technology's main advantages, challenges, and all that kind of stuff from the World Bank. Now, if you guys do want to go check out this document, you are more than welcome to from the World Bank. You guys could just kind of search up distributed ledger technology, DLT, and blockchain English. I've actually read into this document. The only reason why I actually don't have this open is because I'm pretty sure that we talked about this article in the past, but this is not like the main thing that I want to discuss. I just want to share with you guys the disruption that is actually happening. And we have been seeing this move pretty quickly from some of these other major names, like even R3 Corda. We do see over here like permission blockchain and DLT in banking. Like R3 Corda is at the forefront of a lot of things within, a few sectors, specifically cross-border payments and also even like trade finance. They have a major opportunity ahead of them in some major industries. If you actually go and check out the power of 3, they do have like this trust technology and stuff. We also do see a major, ecosystem behind them. But I do think at the end, or sorry, I thought it was at the end. I think maybe it's over here. I think, yeah, it's in there. I think it might be over here. Let me check out if this is it. 1 second, guys. All right, so I found it. So here is Discover What's Possible. This is with digital assets building with trust. We do see like a few of their challenges and solutions, but we do see a lot of names here. A few that jump out to me is like HSBC, NASDAQ, and then last but not least, SD, or Six Digital Exchange, I should say. Why Six Digital Exchange? Well, they are working with Quant. This goes all the way back to like February of like 2021, like a full year ago, where we did see a full-on breakdown with SDX, with, of course, Quant. And that is a bridge with Corda. There's also other major use cases from Corda themselves as well. Like there's a ton of them. Digital currencies. We do see a few of the major names here, like BIS, right? BIS comes up many times. Reserve Bank of even Australia as well. Some major, banking clients, even like Accenture. Accenture is always at the forefront of a lot of this, even like Finastra too. But this is like just one thing that I do talk about. And also going all the way back to like 2019 is when we did see official connections to R3 Corda with Quant, SIA partners with Quant Network. And we do see down here that the first interoperability test will be executed on R3 Corda and private Ethereum platforms, meaning, hey, we already have a bridge here with R3 Corda, with even Ethereum. And I'm sure that, with R3 Corda really kind of moving in on the financial sector, they will need 100% interoperability between that system with the legacy systems and even the future DLT systems, which we are, having a major transformation happen right now before our eyes within the financial sector. And I would argue that within the next, I keep saying 3 to 5 years, because I think that the 3 to 5 year span is something substantial to look at. Also, remember that they did just post this back in July 15th on Cointelegraph. 56% of banks say DLT and crypto are not a priority in the near future. Again, I love when I see things like this, because it really kind of just tells you, like, listen, things are moving rapidly behind the scenes. They're just trying to, give you guys a quick insight that, like, hey, well, listen, we're not moving in on this just yet, because they don't want retail to be at the forefront of the disruption. They want, retail to come in after the money has already been made for the higher ups. But they are saying, many respondents from major banks said that the technology would likely be unimportant for liquidity management practices until 2027. Again, 3 to 5 years. But I would argue that there's going to be a lot more disruption happening. I think that we are going to see a major switch happen very soon around specific things within the digital asset space, digital currencies as well, DLT systems, and interoperability. Like the future behind this space is such an incredible opportunity. And with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, up to you all. Have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. This has been Nick. Peace out, guys.